Welcome to the program. I want to begin with the appointment of a new governor for the Bank of Ghana. The new governor, Airstrip, is expected to secure his appointment instrument today. This will give the governor the necessary legal backing to start work from next Monday. George Afi has more on areas the new governor is planning to focus on when he begins work.
The instrument would also outline the duties and functions of the governor when he assumes office next Monday. According to persons close to Dr. Airstrip, he will press on with the Bank of Ghana inflation targeting policy, which is aimed at ensuring that the central bank uses various banking instruments to control the amount of money in circulation. Sources say even though the governor would fast-track implementation of the various banking reforms, he is however expected to propose some changes to how these things are implemented by the central bank, which could be described as drastic. Some MDs of banks that Joy Business have spoken to are confident about Dr. Addison's ability to deliver on the job based on his previous workings at the Bank of Ghana as head of research of the banking department and the role he played in the various reforms in the banking sector, which began some 16 years ago.
Meanwhile, economist and executive director for the Center for Policy Analysis, Dr. Joe Abbey, says there could be more to the resignation of the governor of the Bank of Ghana than the personal reasons contained in his resignation letter. Dr. Isahaku resigned on Monday, citing personal reasons, but the renowned economist says the governor, whose position is secured by the tenure of office, may have left either due to disagreements in principles with the new government or taking the decision under duress.
The developments are such that you cannot avoid the interpretation that he was pushed, and a lot is going to depend on how circumspect we are in analyzing this, because only on Monday, when the Monetary Policy Committee finished its deliberations, he seemed to be quite in an upbeat mode. So for 2 days later, for him to be saying that he's leaving on personal reasons means that investors are going to be analyzing very carefully what this means for the policy environment in Ghana. And I think we need to be very careful in how we deal with this matter. So I would say that we need to be circumspect, that clearly things happen rather fast, and therefore it will raise questions in people's minds, because already there's a change in direction with the change in government, because the NDC government was going more for the sticking with the fund program and the austerity that it entailed. Now the NPP government is talking about seeking more space to encourage growth, and this will mean that they are going to have a larger deficit than the program would have done, because you are trying to find a nice path between stabilization and debt sustainability and growth and job creation. These are not easy things to marry. So people will be looking at what the resignation, retirement, or whatever, the departure of the governor, as to whether he was uncomfortable with leaning towards the growth agenda rather than the macroeconomic stabilization agenda. That is what we need to watch investors' verdict on.
We'll still remain with the Bank of Ghana on a different topic, though, because CEO of investment management firm Echo Capital, Delagbo, says the marginal reduction of the policy rate by the Bank of Ghana will not result in any significant impact on the bank's interest rates. Now, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank, if you recall, last Monday announced a drop in the policy rate by some 200 basis points to 23.5%. But Chief Executive Officer of Echo Capital, Delagbo, tells Joy Business banks may also have to cut down on risk charges before it will be able to have a corresponding impact on interest rates by the banks.
There's no law that enforces anybody to reduce them. Because look at it, there are key elements that you look at when you are making investment decision or lending decisions, right? Inflation rate is one of them. Okay. Now, inflation rate now is about 13.5 or 13.2% thereabouts. Now, if I'm lending money to you, at least the minimum I want to charge will be the inflation rate. That means I'm not losing value of my money, right? Then I'd also factor in the risk and the cost of money. If Bank of Ghana is selling money to banks at the price of what? 23.5, and banks then going to loan it out to people, they have additional risk, defaults, and other risk to that. So you can't tell a bank now that automatically drop your lending rates. So yes, if everything remains the same, I don't see any change happening.
Okay, so we are moving on to another important subject, that's cocoa. And as the Deputy Chief Executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Edouard Ponsa, retraced the board's commitment to improving the lives of cocoa farmers, the Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana has once again expressed anger at the way the board has been treating cocoa farmers. President of the association, Nana Obuadiebonsu II, lamented the poor living conditions of cocoa farmers across the country. Speaking earlier on the marketplace, he said farmers would have wished to have a farmer at the leadership of cocoa borders. All previous managers did not have the interest at heart. Now, this comes on the back of public outrage over the salaries of top executives of the board, despite the impoverishment of most cocoa farmers. Dr. Edouard Ponsa was addressing a stakeholders forum on improving cocoa production.
You see, it's so heck that when I hear people that they say this is a board chairman of Cocoa Board, this is the CEO of Cocoa Board, this and that, my brother, we are the farmers, we feed the nation, we own this country. So the thing is, the scholarship scheme that they are talking about, we the cocoa farmers are not getting the scholarship scheme. We want to take over the Cocoa Board. We want to take over, we the farmers want to take over, we can make it ourselves. We have intellectuals within the cocoa industry that they can take over this thing. We don't have to do it political appointment.
You want to take over Cocoa Board as in what respect?
Asking for the chairmanship to the CEO. We want to take over. We want to take over because, listen, go to the cocoa industry and see, even the cocoa farming community, if they even have a clinic. What kind of school are they building for us? And let us ask the chief executives and the managing directors and the people there, what kind of schools are their kids going? We provide, we give you people the money. Without we, you are nobody. Do you get my point? But at the end of the day, we are suffering. We don't even get quality water to drink. And you people are drinking bottled water.
You're still watching Business Live here on Joy News. Internet service provider Main One Cable has endorsed the latest measure in Ghana's telecom industry as one of the best consolidations which will be of benefit to consumers. Telecom service providers Airtel and Tigo have announced their decision to merge into one entity, a development which many industry players have criticized. However, in an interview with Joy Business, West African Regional Executive of Main One, Kazim Ladepo, noted Ghana's population is expanding and would require quality services. Hence, the decision by the two telecom giants to merge is laudable. Ghana's telecom industry is undergoing a consolidation due to the decision by some major players to merge their operations. This is expected to strengthen competition in the industry and also give customers the opportunity to choose a better network. In an interview with Joy Business, Kazim Ladepo, West African Regional Executive of Main One, noted this is one of the best measures that will see customers get the maximum benefit.
Mergers are supposed to be tools for creating better efficiencies in businesses. I mean, fundamentally, when two businesses come together, it's just so that they can bring diverse values to the table, consolidate it, and improve on their respective performance as a one unit, as a unit of business, as against being two separate businesses. So I'm sure that the organizations and the people that are putting the structures together for these mergers are most concerned about getting the right model that would make the businesses be more efficient. And efficiency is basically delivering customer services well, because that is the only way that you're going to have return on investment.
Customers, that's Airtel and Tigo.
Yes, both of them are actually our customers. So we believe and we're strongly excited that they're coming together to do this. We think that they see intricate values in the consolidation, and that that consolidation would actually make them be optimally more efficient than they are.
He was speaking on the sidelines of the company's business breakfast meeting held in Accra for its service providers and customers. Mr. Ladipo stressed on some reforms the company is undertaking as part of measures to improve service quality.
Driven by mobiles, but we're also seeing a lot of enterprise-driven internet solution in the space in the last 1 to 2 years. And of course, also with the global trend, the Internet of Things, I think the region is catching up, and there's a lot of capacity in the region at the moment, and Main One continues to lead in that segment of the market, providing bandwidth, providing support and solutions, and we're evolving into a communication solution provider more and more these days.
Sources say the measure will see some top management members of the two companies opting out to pursue their interests in other areas of the industry. Now, Afrimax Group of companies, owners of Busy in Ghana, has reiterated its agenda to drive education towards growing the economy. The 4G internet service provider in this bid has launched a youth empowerment program to prepare students for the job market. It is partnering with various universities and colleges to do this as part of its social corporate responsibility. Busy's Youth Empowerment Program is three-dimensional, consistent graduate development, a student brand ambassador program, and an online educational platform called JUMP. About 60 to 70% of the population in the country is below 25 years. This, according to Busy, signals an impressive pool of talents and immense capacity just waiting to be tapped into. The 4G internet service provider hopes to leverage digital media, which is common among Ghana's growing young population, to provide free access to educational content. CEO of Busy, Pravin Sadalagi, spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the Youth Empowerment Program.
Next 20, 30, 40 years, Africa is going to change. And this is the time we have to be there, give this opportunity to these young people, which is close to 60–70% of the Africa's population, of Ghana's population, and see that the youth has the right opportunity. They are getting out of school, they are now, and many times it so happens that they don't know what to do next. So if we are able to provide an opportunity, if we are able to provide a platform which makes them bring their ideas out, take it to the wider market, and puts them on at a place, at a level where they can take it further and be a success. That's what we are looking at.
Deputy Minister for Education designate Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, who graced the occasion, highlighted government support to use ICT to facilitate education.
We need to be able to leverage what we are seeing here today, what we are seeing through the JUMP program, and to make sure that it's not just an individual student who is privileged and having access to this content. We have to make sure that this content is available to everyone in the rural areas, especially in the zongos especially, so that we can use this knowledge as a basis for transformation of their lives. Education is the opportunity for transformation. It presents the opportunity for transformation, and it creates an equal level playing field. And to do that, we need connectivity so that everyone can tap into what I see here today.
The 4G internet service operator envisions that by 2020, there will be over 5 million users across all markets on the JUMP platform. Now, the temporary ban on small-scale mining has been championed by stakeholders against small-scale mining, and that's a move to give ample time for heavily polluted water bodies across the country to be regenerated. Although Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Obin, has raised some questions about the practicability of a temporary ban on small-scale mining, many believe the ban is imperative to solving the effects of galamsey on major water bodies across the country. Now, speaking on the Business Leadership Show, the Executive Lounge, Senior Director of Government Relations at Newmont, Ghana, Amabewa, said there should be a differentiation between artisanal mining and illegal mining, so the exercise would not affect small-scale miners who abide by the law.
You know, there's a differentiation between small-scale or artisanal mining and illegal mining. There are small-scale miners, you know, like, let's say, an Amabewa enterprise. I register with the Minerals Commission. I have a license from the EP. I have a small parcel of land. But I can also prospect and mine responsibly within that small parcel. Not use dangerous chemicals, not use banned chemicals. Make sure that I am not disturbing the environment, and I am reclaiming, you know, and reclamation in the corporate sense. We do a lot of reclamation where lands that you know we impact are returned as close to their normal state as possible once we leave. But on the small scale mining, they can also do some form of reclamation. So we need as a country to come together to find alternate sources of livelihood for people to desist from. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to dig a hole under their house knowing that one day they might collapse into that hole. I don't think that any woman wants to put herself or her child at risk by standing in waters polluted with chemicals just to make, you know, a living. And so I think it's important to differentiate between small scale and artisanal mining, which is done the right way.
So you can watch the full interview with Senior Director of Government Relations at Newmont, Ghana, Amabewa, on the Executive Lounge. It airs tomorrow, Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News channel and on Multi-TV, as well as on the DSTV channel 421. Aviation now, and contractors working on the Airstrip say the facility should be ready for commercial flights before the end of this year. The Airstrip has been given a facelift to accommodate bigger aircrafts for commercial operations. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
As part of its agenda to create an efficient transport system to open up the country for socio-economic activities, the government of Ghana embarked on the construction of aerodromes and airstrips in some regions in the country. The WA Airstrip was penciled as one of them to be given a major facelift to enable it to operate domestic commercial flights. An Accra-based construction firm, Scale Link Limited, was then awarded a 6-month contract to give facelift to the WA Airstrip to enable commercial flights to use the facility. Work on the project was expected to be finished and handed over before the end of 2016. The project, however, went beyond the stipulated completed time. Seeing the project as one that is of priority to the government, especially to the people, Upper West Regional Minister Suleiman Al-Hassan went on a tour of the facility to see for himself progress of work and what could be done to get the facility ready for commercial flights. He was conducted around the facility by the Assistant Project Manager of Skill Link Limited, Artisan Draman Idrisu. He told the Regional Minister that they have completed and handed over the facility to the Ministry of Aviation and only waiting for commissioning.
They identify some spots. Even though we did the official handing over, they identify some spots and asked that we should work on that. And we have done that. Yeah, we have done that.
So you finished with that?
Yeah, we have finished with the work.
They haven't come back?
Yeah, they haven't come back.
They wouldn't come?
No, they will come. They will surely come. You know, even any type of aircraft can land here because the runway marking has been done and the place is also tested and it was approved that...
At the time of the visit, the conveyor belt and the communication gadget were not fixed yet at the terminal building, which he considered will be fixed in the next few weeks. Upper West Regional Minister Suleiman Al-Hassan was happy with the work done by the contractor and has already started talking about the benefits the region will derive from the facility.
The commercial activities surely will improve because a number of people have already come to me in the office and are questioning why this thing, because they have colleagues, friends, business partners who will want to come to WA But because they fear sitting in a vehicle about 8 hours from Accra to this place, that one is so scary. So people are worried, and we know that as soon as this thing is operationalized, economic activity in the region
has the third longest runway in the country. Reporting for Joy Business, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
You're watching Business Live. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Business Live. In a moment, we'll be taking you to Parliament, where the Deputy Minister of Communications designate George Anda is before the Appointments Committee. We'll bring you that live vetting process in a bit. But I want to quickly do our interview of the day. Improve on quality of goods and services or risk falling out of the competitive market. That's the advice from the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI. Now, the association says challenges facing Ghanaian industries are to be used as an opportunity to improve upon quality of service in order to remain competitive on the market. In an interview with Joy Business at the sidelines or on the sidelines of the launch of the ECOWAS Regional Industry Quality Awards in Accra, Chief Executive of the AGI, Sechum Akwabwa, stressed the need for industry players to invest in quality of goods produced.
Introducing the National Quality Awards. It's going to be one of the key categories in the AGI Awards, and whoever wins will go to ECOWAS and compete at ECOWAS level. So basically that's what it is. It makes the award very unique and very special because we are introducing a big award category, which can be a big award by itself because it's also a national event.
Okay, yeah. So talking about quality here, are you taking into consideration some of the challenges that these industries face? We have the power challenge, which was mentioned earlier, infrastructure and other investment that they have to make into improving their quality before giving the awards. Are you taking into consideration all this?
Yes, we take all these factors into consideration, but at the end of the day, the challenges you have should not result in poor quality of your product, regardless of the challenges. The only problem is that when the challenges are high, it makes you uncompetitive. But the quality you can never compromise. The fact that you didn't have consistent supply of energy or your energy cost is so high does not mean you should come out with a product that does not meet the national standards. Because if you do that, the consumer who is buying is not looking at your challenges, he's looking at the product he's buying. And if your quality is not good, then it means that the imported ones are going to compete with you and take your market away. And therefore, even the local market, you struggle to have your market share, let alone the export market. So regardless of the challenges, quality is quality, the standards must be met. And therefore, those companies who are able to embrace the challenges and be able to overcome it to the standard they come out with a good product should be awarded. That's the essence of this whole thing. That the fact that you have challenges does not mean that you shouldn't meet quality standards.
So after winning the awards, you get the recognition. What else does the company stand to benefit or to gain?
But you know the way awards is done. When the mere fact that you have won an award, first of all, the award is clearly defined. The criteria for selecting you is also known, and then companies compete for it. So if you become the outstanding company who has won it, it makes you a unique company.
That's our show tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Daryl Kwao.